What's up, resellers? I'm Rebecca, and you're watching Rebecca the Reseller. Thanks for joining me today for another Poshmark closet review. I love doing these. I actually have a couple on my plate to do right now. So let's talk about this. So if you are new here, hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark and ThredUp, and I dabble in a few other things. Today, though, we are doing a Poshmark closet review where I go ahead and review someone's closet with a whole bunch of criteria. I give a lot of custom tips and tricks and advice and ideas for improvement and things that I think about the closet so that this person can really get on the right foot, level up their Poshmark closet, and increase their Poshmark sales. And that's what my channel is all about: reselling, how to increase your Poshmark sales, Poshmark tips and tricks, and what's sold on Poshmark, Poshmark closet reviews, things like that. So this closet review is for the closet name at JJ Eclectic. Yes, right? I'm saying that right. JJ Eclectic, and it looks like her name is Janine. So Janine, thank you so much for purchasing a closet review. I do appreciate it. I went through your closet the other day and then felt a little under the weather, and now I'm able to provide you with your custom video review. So for those at home, you get a summary with all of the information as well as the custom video as well. So if you're interested in purchasing a closet review for those at home, just check out the description to go to my Etsy shop and you can catch one there. And for Janine, again, thank you so much. I'm excited to go over all of this with you. So starting where I always start, with your name field. So it looks like you may have watched some closet reviews of mine before. You do have an exclamation point in there. And so what I recommend for those watching is that if you start your name field with an exclamation point, it will help you show up higher in the lists of closets. Like when you click on someone's followers or you click on your following and all of the list of closets show up, when you have an exclamation point, you will show up higher to the top. And when people go through and click on there to follow for followers, you might be one of the first ones that they click on, therefore enhancing the amount of followers that you get. Now, do I think that this is going to have a direct impact on your sales? No. But building your network on Poshmark can only be a good thing. And so am I recommending that you go and just do all of these crazy things to get followers? No, but this is a really easy way to just set it and forget it. You show up higher in the list and it gets you more exposure to your closet. So that's why I recommend it. Your banner, it's very pretty. It looks like a little main street or something like that. Not sure if that's where you live or an iconic place, but it's very pretty. And my view on banners and those sorts of images is as long as it doesn't look bad, it's fine. So it looks very nice. The info line is a area of prime real estate. And so you have in there transplanted New Yorker living in SoCal. And that's super cute and nice to let people know that you're from New York and you're in Southern California. But that's not really going to do anything to increase your sales. And as I said, it is prime real estate. So my recommendation for you is to put what I call a buyer confidence line, something that builds the confidence of the buyer in you and makes them feel comfortable and confident in purchasing from you. So some of the things I say are in mine. How many items I've sold. So in mine it says, over 7,000 items sold, ship same next day, of course, only if you do, and professional seller if you can fit it. I don't know the exact amount of characters that you can put in there. So that's something along the lines of what I would recommend for you is take out the transplanted New Yorker living in SoCal, add in how many items you've sold, if you ship same or next day, and that you're a professional seller if you feel that you are. And so I think that that will help buyers that do end up in your closet, because remember, not all buyers end up in your closet. Sometimes they just find an item and they make the purchase. But if they end up in your closet and they're clicking around, they will see that, read that, and feel a little bit more comfortable in buying from you. Your avatar is a nice picture of you and what I could assume is, perhaps your husband. So a very sweet picture. And, that is completely fine as long as it's a nice picture or a nice professional logo. Either of those is fine. I do think that just having one of you or a more current photo of you could enhance the feeling in general when people look at it, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. It's completely up to you. You don't have a link in here, and that's fine. You don't need anything to link to, but should you have something to link to, like an Instagram that you're using to promote your Poshmark closet or something like that, you can link it in there. And then moving into, kind of your information here. When I did this the other day, you were at 413 listings. Today you're at 414 listings for your all-time. So that's sold and active. So congratulations, you're almost at 500 listings, which is fantastic. So my recommendation is to look ahead to the future and make a milestone for yourself and celebrate when you hit that 1,000th all-time listing, and maybe make a plan to get there and by when you would like to get there. To increase your sales, you want to increase your listings. It's really a numbers game. It's in how many items can you put in your store that potentially people will want over time and will eventually sell. Sourcing has a big part of it as far as, are you putting good things and in-demand things and popular things and all of that. I can't really comment too much on that. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I do think if you are interested in increasing your sales, the best and first way to do it is to increase the number of listings. So I think it's been at least 2 days since I did the initial summary to when I'm recording the video, and you've put up 1 listing. Now, if you're a part-time person, as long as you're being consistent, it's okay if you're not doing a million listings. I think that you can have consistent daily sales with consistent daily listing. And I'm not saying 20. I'm not even saying 10. If you know that all you can do is a few items a week, set your goal at 7 items a week. That's 1 listing a day, but put that 1 listing up every day. And if you can't actually do the full process every day, spend an hour on Saturday, do all your 7 photos, do all your 7 drafts, and just every day go in for 2 seconds and make that listing go live. So again, everybody's situation is different, but I haven't really talked about that, and I felt like it was important to say for people that have watched several of these closet reviews to kind of keep things fresh, that you can make anything work. What you put into it is what you get out of it. And so if you put in 1 listing a day, you're probably not going to get 1 sale a day, but maybe you'll get 2 sales a week, perhaps. And then if you bump it up to 2 listings a day, then maybe you'll get 4 sales a week. And so if you do that kind of thing, you will have more and more success over time. So that's neither here nor there, but I just felt like it was good to say. Okay, so shares, you've got 15,000 shares. And I put here, looks like perhaps you're not doing a lot of this, so that is good. But I don't recommend community sharing as a general practice. Completing tasks that have a bigger impact on your business are more important like sharing your own items, revising, relisting, listing, sending offers, making bundles, running a sale, or sourcing more inventory. So I hope that makes sense for you and for those watching at home, that community sharing is great if you're doing it to get your Poshmark ambassador status or something like that, or every so often you just want to put a little love out there into the Poshmark community. I don't say don't do it. Just don't do it with the intent that that is going to result in something for your business. Think of it as a donation into the Poshmark community and not expect anything back from it. And when you look at it like that, you may do it a little bit more sparingly and then spend more time on your business. And as a result, you will have an increased impact in your business. As far as followers and following, you're at 42,000 followers to almost 11,000 following. So again, I'm glad to see that you're not going crazy following a bunch of people in order to get followers. You can tell that here. So that is good, because I don't think it should be a huge priority for people. It is, there are other tasks that are much more important. However, there are times, and I've said this before, where I just want a mindless task. Like, I don't play bingo games on my phone, or like farming games on my phone, or like solitaire. Like, I don't play those kinds of games. Every once in a while, I might do a puzzle. For me, I always want to be working on my business. That is my hobby. I enjoy doing it. And so if I don't really want to do anything, but I kind of want to do something, I'll go in and follow new closets, because it's mindless. I can pick it up and put it down at any second. I can be watching TV while I'm doing it, relax, snuggling the dog while I'm doing it. You know, it's something I do on vacation sometimes because I can't really do any real work on my business. So when I'm on vacation, often I'll just do following sprees because why not, you know? So I don't think it should be part of your like every day I must follow people, but I do think every once in a while it's a fun thing to do that can be helpful because it builds your network and you never know where that will take you. Last active, so let's click on that. I'm extremely like with allergies right now, guys, so I apologize if I'm just so like, it's terrible. What am I looking at? Okay. Last active this hour. Excellent. When I looked at it the last time, you were recently active as well. So I'm happy to see that that happened again, which means you are active because you can be active when I happen to look and then, you know, you're not in there for 2 more days. So that's great. It gives your buyers confidence. I actually, this isn't the hat, but I went in and bought a Lululemon hat like a month or 2 ago. And there were a couple hats, but I didn't buy from the person that had been last active 3 days ago. I bought from the person that had been last active 2 hours ago. And so for me, I'm not going to put in an offer with someone that hasn't been on the app in 4 days because I don't know when you're coming back, you know? And I want to buy something and I want to buy it now and I want to know that it's on its way to me, or I'm going to move on to the next seller. And so there are lots of items that we're all selling that we're not the only ones selling. There's lots of Banana Republic tops out there. There's lots of Chico's jackets. There's lots of, you know, I can't even think of anything right now. My head is so full of guff, but there's lots of bread and butter kinds of things out there. A lot of us sell bread and butter things. And so it's very easy for a person to search and find 8 to 10 items that are the exact thing that they want that 8 to 10 sellers have. And so if they are a buyer that is looking to put in an offer, make a decision, know that it's on its way and going to ship quickly, they would perhaps check when you were last active. Like I said, I definitely do. So it's important to be active. We don't want to have the phone chained to us, but if you can pop in and out of the app every few hours, even if you don't do anything, though I think when you go in the app, you should do something because it's just a good habit. But even if you just pop in every few hours, it shows buyers that you are there and that you will see their offer, you will respond to their offer, you will ship their item in a timely manner, that you will answer their question, whatever it is, it gives them confidence because I've bought on Poshmark and had to cancel after a week because the person didn't ship the item. You know, I've had offers that I've sent just expire and the person never got back to me. I've had people accept my offer and then, you know, take 5 days to ship an item. So there's all kinds of sellers out there and you want to show your customers that you are one of the best and most attentive to their needs. So that was a long one. Love notes. You have received 43. They all seemed, when I scrolled through the last time, you know, of good note. So that is good. Not, you know, not anything crazy there. Average ship time is 1 day. Excellent. Really feel good about that because it is hard to ship out same or even next day sometimes. So I think it's great if you can keep it up, especially as you get more and more sales. It will benefit you because at some point, you're going to want to go on vacation and you're going to say, I'm only going to be gone for 5 days. I'm not going to put my thing on vacation mode. I'm just going to let people make orders and I'll send them a note that I'll ship it in 5 days. I have done this multiple times. Most of the time, everybody is cool with it and they say, great, have a good vacation, whatever. And it won't have any effect on your account because you shipped so many so quickly that to have 1 week with some later shipping times, it all comes out in the wash. And so the better you can do at the beginning gives you vacation time later, I like to think about it. So good ship time, and that also helps buyers feel confident about buying from you because that's a statistic that you're not saying. Like in the confidence line, I told you to say ship same next day, but that's you saying it. So they're like, yeah, sure, but I don't believe you. But now here Poshmark is saying that you ship in 1 day. So that's a legitimate statistic that they can count on. Posher since, you've been a Posher since February of 2017. So It's 2021. What does that mean? 4 years. Congratulations on your 4-year Poshversary that just passed last month. I'm coming up on my 5th. It is exciting. And, you know, I think that your closet stats, I'm spitting everywhere, that your closet stats are in great shape for a part-time seller that has been on the app for 4 years. So I think you're in, you know, a good spot in that regard. Now, let's go back to your closet. Oh my God, I'm so stuffed up. Okay, so welcome to my closet. So you have a closet sign, and that's awesome. And I just want to refresh my memory by reading a little bit of this, because again, I did this summary 2 days ago when I was, you know, not really feeling that great. So you have a welcome to my closet sign. I recommend this as a bookmark, and it can, so that buyers can save your closet and you can communicate information about buying from you so they have confidence. You should, though, add more information here. I'm going to click into it. You should add some, oh, my battery's going to die. Guys, I am a hot mess today. I am so very sorry. Okay, we're plugged in. Oh my God, I'm a mess. So you should add some more information here. So you have not for sale as the title, and then you have enjoy as the description. And so you're just missing out on an opportunity here, and that's fine. Like, I think you wanted to have a closet sign. You knew you should have one, but then you didn't know what else to do with it. Always feel free. I have mine. Oh, I thought I had mine linked in here, but maybe not. You can go to my closet on my rack and check mine out anytime. I put in there that I'm a professional seller. I put that I ship same next day. Basically what I put in my buyer confidence, that I ship same next day, professional seller, that I've sold over 7,000 items, things like that. So this can say in the title, like, bookmark my closet, or like to bookmark. That way they know that that's what they should do with that listing, and then they can find you again. And then in the description, that's where you can add the information about, you know, ship same next day, professional seller, whatever, or you can actually have it in your sign, which is what I do. So there's a few ways that you can go about it, but I do think it's important to have one. I'm glad you do. Let's just capitalize on this a little bit more. I'm gonna not forget anything. Consider adding more information here. I said that. And it should be at the top. So I think when I saw it, you know, the other day, it wasn't at the top, it was at the bottom. So I'm glad to see it at the top now. And this is, I put, consider it like a virtual welcome. This is when they walk through the door and you hear that little ding ding and you say, hi, welcome in. That's your closet sign. Okay. And then I do want to mention, if you ever want to add more closet signs, I do have several different designs that I offer in the Etsy store with like preset 60+ images available ready for you to post in your closet. So those are in my Etsy shop, and I did give you a link to that. It's linked down below, obviously, for those watching at home, my Etsy shop, in case you ever want to purchase closet signs. Or I also have a DIY list where you know how to make closet signs, but you just want some ideas for some new and different closet signs. I have a list. I like making lists. Okay, so let's get into like the nitty gritty of it now. Product mix, brand, and size. So I have here your brands skew on the lower end side, or less desirable brands. The most recognizable brand you have is Free People, and you have a lot of it, so that is great. But I scrolled through the whole closet, and better brands were few and far between. You need to try to level up your sourcing for brands that are in demand, popular, widely recognized, trendy, and higher end. This is hard for everyone, especially when you get started. So I'm recommending that you build your brand knowledge by watching haul videos, what sold videos, and checking solds on Poshmark. Sometimes I just go into Poshmark and search what sold for $25 to $50. Or what sold for $50 to $100. And I just scroll through and see what's there. I know that when I search for certain things, it's like the same brands keep coming up because those are the brands that people want. Lululemon's there all the time, all kinds of shoes, Michael Kors bags. Like, there's things that you'll see all the time that always show up. It's because people want them over and over again. Now, I'm not saying kill yourself to try to find those things, but having it in the back of your mind, knowing that all these people bought all these Lululemon items, and maybe you have 0 Lululemon in your store, that's okay, but keep in mind that that's the kind of stuff that people are looking for. What else can you do? What else can you find that maybe isn't selling 20 times a day, but sells 3 times a day, and try to find that brand. So I'm just trying to get you thinking about actually buying not what you can find, but what you can sell. So I do think that that's important. Now, having a mix of low, mid, and high-end brands does help you because it lets you cater to more customers, but sometimes the low-end brands are not worth the work and storage. So consider making some criteria for yourself so you can focus on specific brands or item types or price points. So for you, if there, and we're going to get to it when we talk about your solds, but if you find that you are finding a certain kind of brand or a certain kind of item that's plentiful for you, it's easy for you to find, and it's also something that you've been selling pretty well, then maybe you should do more of that and less of a little bit of everything else. So it's about what can you find, but also what are people looking for. When you find a happy medium between the two, that's when you can really boost your sales a lot. So it's just something to think about. Challenge yourself to find even higher end brands that can sell for $50 plus. They don't come up often, but when they sell, it is a great payday and will boost your sales from time to time. I'm getting more of those now, but there was a time where my closet was full of $10 and $20 items, and when I got a $25 sale, I was over the moon. And now my store is filled with $25 and $50 and $100 items, and so my minimum sale is like $20, and my, $50 sales are becoming more frequent. And then when I get a $100 sale, I'm over the moon. So it's about what you put in your store, what you don't put in your store, and what you put more and more of. I hope that makes sense. I know that it might be hard for everyone to find $100 items, but I do think that we can all choose not to put $10 items in our store. So something like that. You did have a wide array of sizes, and that is always helpful in bringing more customers to your closet. So keep doing that. I put product mix, item type, and style. So in general, some of the styles looked more dated and not current. Considering researching some brands that you would like to sell and reviewing their websites from time to time to see what is current, and then over time this will give you a better feel for trending styles. So this is something I'm starting to do more often, is pick a few brands that I have had luck with or that I like to sell, and then going to their actual sites and seeing what's current, and just window shopping, just getting an idea, because that can then help you as you source. Also, you have lots of t-shirts and lower value. I'm going to go into the closet in a second, but I want to get through some of the notes. You have lots of t-shirts and lower value items like casual items. And so these might not perform as well and can take the same amount of time to photograph and list. Consider making a garage sale pile so that you could sell these kinds of items in that way. You can ask yourself, is someone searching for this? Are they seeking this out? Will they pay $7 shipping on this item? So this is a hard thing to do, and I've gone through this as a seller. Not putting everything in your store, not saying I was able to get this for cheap, so I'm going to sell it because surely someone will want it and I could make X dollars. That's a lot of wishful thinking right there. And as someone who at one point had over 2,000 items in her inventory, I can tell you I had a lot of stuff that never sold, and I took it out of inventory even after I did all the sourcing and all the photographing and all the listing and all the work, sharing, and then still never sold it online. So I just think that yes, it's nice to be able to clear out your own closet or to take a bag, that you get for free from a friend or whatever, but you do have to be mindful of the work that you're putting into it and if it is actually going to sell. And what is the likelihood of it selling and how much work you had to put into it and how long you have to store it before it does sell and for what amount. So just want to air that out. I also noticed many items with flaws. Consider not purchasing items with flaws, and if you do, returning them or exchanging them and not putting them in your closet. I am having a runny nose issue. Oh my goodness, guys. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm so sorry. Ugh. And I'm not editing this because I literally have zero time. It's been an interesting week. If you don't know, I got the vaccine earlier this week, which was amazing. But then it put me down for the count for 2 days, like I thought I was going to be fine. And then now my allergies are going crazy, like I'm just a hot mess. Gosh, well, I don't know why you guys are watching me. Whew. Consider putting a quality control system in place and check more thoroughly for flawed items. So this is something that is difficult for me as well. And so I talk about all this stuff, not sitting on my high horse. Like I've been through all these things. But during the pandemic, when I took all my thrifted items and sent them to ThredUp so that I could only do Poshmark Boutique and then homeschool Geo, and now being on the other side of it where I'm starting to populate my Poshmark closet again and do the work, listing work myself, I'm only putting in good stuff. I'm not putting in flawed things. And if it is, it's got to be a good item for it to have a flaw. If you're putting in a flawed Banana Republic top, don't do it. Don't do it because there's so many Banana Republic tops that don't have flaws. Why is somebody going to pay you $15 for your flawed Banana Republic top? It's nothing against you. It's not personal. It's just not worth it. So if you purchase something thinking, oh, someone will buy it anyway, then I say don't purchase it with a flaw. If you purchased it, you didn't know it had a flaw, it was on accident or whatever, see if you can exchange it, or go through an exercise with yourself where you say, think it all through. I'm going to photograph it, I'm going to list it, I'm going to store it, I'm going to share it, I'm going to send offers on it, I'm going to do all of these things, and it may or may not sell because it's a flawed item. And there are other perfectly fine items out there just like this one. Or I could cut my losses right now, not do all that work, save myself a lot of time and effort, and go donate it to Goodwill right now, or have a garage sale. So those are the kinds of choices, those are the kinds of things I would like for you to think about, you and everyone watching. You really do have a great selection of items from all occasions, styles, so that is perfect. And it covers all seasons, categories, etc. You have a super diversified closet. I didn't notice any prohibited items. So let's just scroll through a little bit and then we'll talk about photo presentation. So that way everybody can see, because you do have a lot of really nice Free People stuff. But then there's also, some things that are more dated, the styles, the brands. I saw an Anthropologie in there. But there's just a lot of things where it's just kind of, I don't know that someone's searching for it. You have a Calvin Klein. Okay. So this fringe thing is cute though. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a little scroll there. So for photo presentation, I see that you have a variety of presentations. You've done flat lay, mannequin, hanging, all are fine. Whichever one you want to do is fine. I personally like hanging, but I do think that you could be a little bit more consistent, and I think you need to be really honest and really kind of harsh with yourself about what looks the best. The mannequin in front of the wooden armoire, maybe, I'm not quite sure, drawer area, maybe it's inside of a closet, I don't know. It's not a clean and clear background. The photos sometimes are lopsided or off-center. They're not bright. The flat lay there, isn't, you could tell it's on a sheet, but at least it looks like you tried there. These photos where it's a cutout like that, that's not so great. I know you've been experimenting with some photo room, I think. Then you've got this one with the sheet behind it. There's just a lot going on, and I've talked about how I'm super visual. It's hard for for you to keep my attention looking in your closet when it's all sorts of all the things. So I highly encourage you. Here's one that you did with photo room, and photo room is great because it makes the background seamless with the computer screen. but what it doesn't do is actually brighten your photo. So the photo itself is still dark, but now it's on this bright white background. It's also off center this way, off center this way. It's not the best presentation, even though you've made a clear white background. So I just think that there's a lot of things that we could do with these photos. And I think that sometimes the mannequins are more trouble than they're worth. I think sometimes hanging an item up on a hanger in front of a clear wall is the best possible thing to do. I really do. And so that would be my recommendation. My recommendation would be to hang your items, have them hanging nicely on the hanger. All the buttons should be buttoned. This shirt is not buttoned. Not thrown on, like there's a lot of things here. Not thrown on the bed. I don't like the mannequin. I like hanging. I like the item to look like you cared for it. And when it shows up at my door as a buyer, it's going to look just as nice as you took the photos of it. So I think the mannequin here with the photo room, that's better. If you really like the mannequin, then go with that. But I think you need to make the mannequin work a little bit better, because a lot of these photos just have a couple issues. And then you took it rectangularly, but it needs to be in square mode. So you've put it in square mode. That's great. But then in those situations, what I would do, that's when I think you should remove the background, because then it doesn't show that you took it this way and then you cut it off, and it just a lot of rigmarole. So I think you can do better with your cover photos. And I put on here, if you want to sell like a professional seller, your photos should look like that of a professional seller. And I mean all of this with love, and I mean all of this with the best intentions to help you improve. It's not to say mean things, and I hope everyone knows that. It really is having a objective eye saying, if I was a buyer, I would not buy this. And that is worth a lot more than someone not telling you at all. So I do think that you should spend time finding a photo spot that's clean and clear where you can stay consistent with it. You can decide if you want to go through old photos and retake those, old items and retake the photos, which I would recommend, but consider criteria for it. Don't do it for every random item. I think you should take a lot of your items out of inventory and have a garage sale. Spend some time reviewing successful closet listings and note what you like about them and try to implement some of those things. Also, search for one of your own items like a buyer and see how it looks in comparison to the other listings that come up alongside it. I think I would recommend that for everybody. So we talked about photo lighting. So you take a ton of photos, so that's fantastic. Like I'm just gonna go to the top here, just in, let's see. So yeah, you've got the details, you've got the back, more details, tags, all the tags. Okay, so you're taking the right amount of photos, so that's good. But I do think that you should consider when you're taking these other detailed photos, like what is the perspective from which you're taking them? Like you see the overall front one, and there's some white space around it, but I think there should be a little more white space. I also think it should be buttoned. But then when you do the back here, like I would think, what's going on underneath here? Why isn't she showing me the bottom? Is there a stain on the bottom that she doesn't want to show? And so she just conveniently took a picture like that without showing the bottom or the sleeves. To me, when you don't show everything, it looks like you're hiding something, and you may not be. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm like a giant mess. So it looks like you're hiding something, and I'm sure you're not. I'm sure you're trying to do your very best, and so it may not be something that you thought of before. So just try to consider showing the whole item, and then when you're doing the close-ups, that you still show some perspective so they know what it is that you're trying to show them. Yes, okay. Pricing for most of the items I thought was good. I think your good items are priced a little high given the presentation, but I think if you improve your overall experience and presentation, then you could command a higher price. So like this True Religion plaid shirt, honestly, I haven't sold anything True Religion in quite some time, so I'm not sure what the going rate is. I really don't sell a lot of men's, but I don't know if $60 is the right price, but it doesn't sound too terrible, you know, to me. So, but I don't know that I feel like this presentation commands $60. This presentation commands $25 to $30 to me. I don't want to give you $60. I want to give you $25. So that's what I'm talking about with that. Consider adding additional keywords. Why do I have that in pricing? I don't know why I have that in there. It's under pricing. That's silly. But anyway, that's always a good information. Consider adding additional keywords that are searchable so you can attract additional buyers. Oh, I must have deleted the title section. That's what happened. Now we're talking about titles. I think you're trying to have good titles, but I do think that you're missing the mark with your keywords between title and description. You should work on your keyword knowledge so you can add as many relevant keywords to your items as possible. This will get them showing up in more searches and increase their chances to sell. So here, True Religion, plaid, shirt, jacket, extra, extra large, great condition, no rips, stains, or tears, flat 22 inch. Okay, so you have no additional keywords. So we're not talking about the colors. We're not talking about the plaid. We're not talking about the fact that this is probably, it looks like pearl snaps. I think so. Chest pockets, you know, things like that. I mean, and that, you know, again, I don't really do a lot of men's. So there might, you know, is it flannel? Is it lined? Is it thick? Is it fleece inside there? You know, there's other things. Yeah, look. Yeah, so it's fleece lined in there. So you definitely want to be putting that because that's something that would add value. Someone may search for True Religion fleece lined shirt jacket or jacket. And yours wouldn't come up maybe, or it wouldn't come up at the top of that exact match because you don't have the keyword fleece lined in there or fur lined or whatever. So I think that that's kind of a big area that would help increase your sales, even if you did nothing else. If you didn't fix your photos, if you didn't do anything, but you added 3 more keywords to every single one of your listings that was appropriate for that listing, I think you would see a huge, huge difference in activity because every keyword that you add helps your item come up in more and more searches that people are out there searching for all the time. So I really would love for you to be able to sell this. This is, you know, this could be a great item for you. And you need to add some more keywords in there. Now, so between title, you know, like I said, your title is fine. You're trying to have a good title there. I think just between the title and the description, we need to have some more keywords there. If you're looking for more keywords, I do have a keywords video. I also have a keywords list in the Etsy shop for anyone. Description length. So the descriptions are very short, as we can see here. And they don't provide a nice buyer experience. So consider creating a template that covers the basics like keywords, measurements, condition, buyer confidence, and written nicely. Things that you want to cover are length, neckline, sleeve, style, item type, fit, occasion, formality, print, texture, I'm spitting, fabric, feel, weight, stretch, how you put it on, details, embellishments, color. Oh, we didn't even write, like, it's technically like, it's pearl snaps is the kind of buttons it is, but it's a button front, or maybe if you would call it a snap front. Again, I don't know a lot of men's, but yes. So, you know, as far as how you put it on, it's button front. What other details are there? What other embellishments are there? Is it thick and warm and cozy? I love putting cozy in a lot of listings. So I think that the description is a real big area for us to focus on. And I think if you can put, you know, something that kind of introduces them, you know, like thick and warm, exclamation point, excellent condition, no rips or stains. You know, I don't like putting that because to me, no rips, stains, or tears just reminds them that there could be rip, stains, or tears. So I like saying excellent condition with no flaws. if there's no flaws. You have the measurements in there, which is good, but it says flat 22 inches across chest, shoulder to hem 28 inches. That's a lot of words and characters where you could just put the inches thing. You could do my measurements photo. You know, I have a separate video on that, but I take a photo of the measurements using my photo ready measurements form, and then you don't have to type any of that out, which makes listing go by really quickly. And it is a nice presentation for the buyer. But then other than that, you don't say anything else. And so I really do think that you could benefit from a buyer confidence line where you would say ship same next day, offers are welcome, like for price drops, professional seller, things like that. And that's a nice way to end it. And then again, having more keywords, because like I always say, I quote my, reselling YouTube mentor, Chris Lynn from Daily Refinement, where he always said, describe the item like there are no photos and photograph the item like there's no description. And so here, I think we're kind of missing the mark on both fronts. But if you think about it like that, you could really enhance your photos, and then you could also really enhance your description, and then you have a winning listing. So let's see. Description format, I think I talked about that, having a template, and how I didn't, love how you had the format. I do think, for photos, you can decide if it's worth going back and retaking all your photos on an item, or if you're going to pull that item out of inventory. But you can always go back and add keywords to any listing and see if it will help them sell, because every time you share that item, it refreshes your position to be pulled up in search. So if you add fleece lined or fur lined, add pearl snap to this, and then you do your normal sharing, you might see some activity on this, because now it's pulling up for those keywords every time you share it, where before it wasn't pulling up for those keywords. So I hope that helps. Measurements we did. Buyer confidence information, I talked about. Okay, let your souls be your guide. Oh my God. Okay. So let's see. We've got the Pink Floyd graphic tee at $21. We got the Free People at $27. More Free People at $25. Free People at $20. See? Free People at $25, vintage Pendleton wool blazer at $20. So you're making some good sales. But what are the things that are selling? Now, yes, some of the things that are selling are items that have a funky picture that I told you not to do, right? The clock is going to be right twice a day. Sometimes you're going to have the thing that somebody wants, even if your photo's no good. That's okay. That's great. That means that everyone can make sales. I'm happy to see that people are buying, even if your presentation isn't your 100%, because that means if you're selling this way, when you really improve, man, you're going to be selling all kinds of stuff. Like, that's so encouraging and so exciting. So I think this is great. Ralph Lauren Denim and Supply, $25. Free People, $15. Wow, you got $35 for Jennifer Lopez J-Lo stretchy bootcut jeans. Look at you. Oh my goodness, I am impressed with that. I am so impressed with that. Okay, so anyway, so you see the things that are selling. You see what they look like. Some of them are the brighter photos. Some of them are the stock photos. Some of them are better brands, recognizable brands, pieces that people are looking for, items that they are searching out. And so when you compare that with all of the, things that you have in your closet that haven't sold, now you can draw a comparison and say, the True Religion shirt, that's going to be fine. Your Free People stuff, that's going to be fine. Let's see. Some of the things that were like a little bit lower down, like the Forever 21, kind of outdated. Like it's tie-dye, so I give you that because tie-dye is in, so perhaps. But like the Jessica Simpson long sleeve scoop neck top that's just kind of plain. It's just kind of green. Like there's really not anything to write home about it. You probably don't have a million keywords to put in there about it. The brand is Jessica Simpson, not high up the pecking order in my opinion. You might have trouble with that. You've only got one like on it. You know, that's an item that I would say pull out, put on the garage sale, maybe run a 5 for 25 sale before, but you know, your closet isn't so big to where you might have a ton of activity on a 5 for 25 sale. Then you've got a lot of these sundresses and kind of cheaper brands that I just don't know. I just don't know. So, pardon me. Okay, so we talked about sold. Now let's talk about your last shipped. I'm such a mess, guys. I can't believe I'm on YouTube right now. Cannot believe it. Updated 1 day ago. It has been 1 full day since you shared your closet. Let's see. Let's see. If we scroll down, we're sorted by just shared. Let's see if it's any longer. Also 1 day ago. Okay. So today, right now, it is 2:22 p.m. Eastern Time. You have yet to share your closet. That's a problem. Now, you might be at work. You might be a part-time seller. I get that. But that doesn't mean that sharing isn't an important part of making sales. So if you can't share first thing in the morning when you wake up and have your coffee, maybe you can find someone who can share for you. If you can't share during your lunch break at work, maybe you can find someone who can share for you and pay them a couple of bucks. Maybe you have an older son or daughter, maybe you have a niece or nephew, maybe you have a next door neighbor that's in high school or whatever. Things like that, where you could get somebody into the mix, you trust them with your account, and they could just quickly press those buttons for you and get those items out there. If you can't do either one of those things, you've got to at least share at night at the minimum, but really we're looking to be sharing our closet at least 3 times a day. And if you can't do a full closet share, then consider like closet share bursts. And so once an hour, you pull out your phone when you take a quick break from work and you share 5 items. Or when you go take a bathroom break at work, you share 5 items. Or when you're stopped at a light or pull in after work to go pick up dinner at the grocery store, you share 5 items. And, sneaky share it in and just kind of sneak it into your life. And before you know it, your whole closet will get shared at least 1 extra time. And you never know, that could make all the difference, because if you don't put the keywords on, you're not going to make sales. If you don't share the item that show in your search that you had the keywords, you're not going to make sales. They all go hand in hand. So sharing is very important. And in my notes here, I put looks like you frequently shared, because when I had done the summary, you had just shared, but now a couple days later, you haven't shared in a day. So I'm actually kind of glad that that time span has gone so that we could uncover this issue, because it is very important. And then answering questions, I clicked on a bunch of different listings when I was doing the summary, and I didn't see any unanswered questions. I don't review every single listing in your store, but I'm sure I would have come across one if you don't answer them. So if you do, keep doing that. If you don't, you should answer them quickly and professionally. Bundle discount, you have 10% off 2 items. I kind of recommend 20% off 2 items. That's what I do. Final impressions, and then we can end this train wreck of Rebecca on camera. You have 3 main areas to focus on, in my opinion: photos, descriptions, and sourcing. Sourcing can be tough, but it's as much about what you don't put in your closet as what you do. Focus on removing items that are not of certain criteria and sell them at a garage sale or donate them. Add items of certain criteria that more resemble your solds. Set up a consistent and clear photo display and process so you can build a closet that looks professional and consistent. Use white space to give perspective on close-up photos. Study up on your keywords so you can get your items found in more searches and have more chances to sell, as well as set up a template for your description so you can consistently provide a quality, descriptive, buyer-focused listing. that will convert more buyers. It seems you have basics down and now just need to level up and fine tune your certain parts of your process. These are 3 areas that are the most important to master, but can have such a significant impact on your sales. Best of luck with making these improvements. I'm sorry that I read all of that and a lot of it word for word, but as you can tell, today is not my best of days, but I don't like sitting on these closet reviews. You paid me a decent amount of money. I appreciate that, and I want to get you all the information as soon as I possibly can. And lately they've been pretty popular, and so I have several of them to do, and I want to give everyone the time and attention that is due. So Janine, thank you for purchasing the closet review. Thank you for allowing me to review it. I really do think that I can tell you're well-intentioned, and I can tell that you want to do a great job here. So I think it's just sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and when someone who's objective and willing to say it points it out, now we have a roadmap to improve, and I feel like you will. So hopefully you can kind of pick one of these things, start tackling it, make some improvements, take the next thing, start tackling it, make some improvements, and before you know it, your closet is going to look amazing. You're going to have listings that are selling, and it's going to feel better to do that work because you know that when you do that work, it's going to result in sales eventually. And I think that that's kind of where I'm at. I know when I have a good item, I know my photos look decent, and I know I'm doing the right things with my description. So it's just kind of a matter of time for that item to sell. And then, of course, there's the ones that might never sell, and you pull them out of inventory and do something else with them. So I think it's a matter of getting all of your processes to that point so you can feel the same way too about the work that you do as a reseller. But I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. For everyone at home, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some nuggets out of this that you can help in your own closet. If you ever want a closet review of your own, go visit the link down below for my Etsy shop. I would love to help you out as well, preferably on a day when I'm feeling a little bit better and a little less nose ruddier. But thank you all. I wish you all the best for great sales, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.